Hey y'all. So first I want to introduce us. We are kind of not new to sharing on social media, but new to the YouTube platform. So Jordan, Corey, we are both 33. We've been married for almost 10 years.
You're closer to 34 though.
I'm currently 33, okay? We've been married, it'll be 10 years in September. And so we actually started on social media because I was on a weight loss journey, and just kind of started sharing my journey, using our social media platform to build our business. We're both wellness coaches. We work together full time from home, and we share a lot of just our lives and our journey through Instagram. Can we tag our Instagram on here or something? Yeah. Okay. So because we share a lot of stuff about our relationship, we always get so many DMs and messages for relationship advice.
What do y'all argue about?
What do y'all argue about?
Because we don't set the camera up in the middle of an argument, so
right.
I don't get to see that part.
Of course. And I mean, that's one of the questions that we get asked so much. I think just because we share, so many positive moments. One thing I hate is when people are I love you guys, you're my favorite Instagram couple or something like that. One thing that we are not is an Instagram couple. We are a couple, we are parents, we're married, we work together, and we share on social media. Obviously, the best parts of our lives. I think that is a great place to do that, a great way to connect with people. But being married, working together, raising children together, dealing with Virgos, arguments happen, disagreements happen. I think one thing that we wanted to first make clear is that I will never be able to give you directions to somewhere that I haven't been. So we have not personally dealt with infidelity. Third parties. We are a 2-person marriage. So I think that, maybe in past relationships or other situations, we've obviously witnessed and experienced, yeah, it is what it is. I don't be cheating, but, we have not experienced that in our relationship. I think that a big part of learning how to deal with arguments or knowing the best way to approach an argument is what you're actually arguing about. For some reason, people think that the indication of a great relationship or the indication of something good is that it's easy or seamless or that you don't have any problems or challenges. And we have challenges. I think if you think about anything in life, if you're working to improve, you're going to face obstacles. You're going to be met with adversity.
And there's a big difference between an argument and disrespect. As long as that respect piece is there, arguments are actually healthy.
Not that it's always been that way. That's
right.
Definitely something that you have to learn.
She's an Aquarius. And they have some miles on them.
The best, the most respectful, the most elite sign, obviously. But no, what do we argue about? What are some, I think, and his dad actually told us this in marriage counseling, in relationships, it's not your differences that cause the most problems, it's your similarities. And you've heard this before, you hate in others what you see in yourself. So sometimes the areas where we butt heads the most are the things that we actually have in common, the places that we're alike.
Right, and because of our differences, the arguments are actually healthy. In an argument, I'm the person that's I want to talk about it if I want to talk about it. If I don't want to talk about it, I just want to let it run its course and then you move on.
So basically, that means Virgo energy. The world revolves around me, and
Right.
If I want to
mean,
talk about it, I want to talk about it. Or I don't want to talk about it, and then an hour later, I'm going to act like nothing ever happened.
My world revolves around me. Her world revolves around her. But no, seriously, if there's a confrontation, a debate going on, she's the person that wants to talk about it right now, address it until there's a solution. I'm the person where if there is no solution immediate, then I want to take a step back. I want to let our cooler heads prevail, and then come back, re-adjourn, talk about it, and then see if we can come to a solution at that point. She's the person that's like, I think it's funny how, after she says she doesn't want to argue about it.
And I think that there's something super important to understand, is that not every disagreement has a solution. Sometimes you just disagree, and that's also okay. Like, a lot of people think that in friendships and marriages and relationships that you have to have the exact same way of looking at a situation or looking at a problem. And I can tell you firsthand, in a marriage, especially over a long amount of time, there are going to be things that you just see differently. And sometimes arguments are really nothing more than me trying to get him to see things from my perspective and vice versa. Well, you should do what I said. Like, I think that's a really great part of marriage, is that you should do what your spouse says. Me being the spouse, you do it. But no, yeah, you should certain times.
Our dynamic is our commonalities, the things we agree on. Most of the things that are most important to us, we agree on, like our kids, our finances, our faith, where we live, how we spend, like those things, budget, so we kind of have an advantage because those are things we didn't have to deal with in the beginning. So most of our arguments stem from something trivial, something not so serious.
And honestly, that's another thing when deciding on a partner. Like, you will know the things that feel worth arguing about. There are certain things that personally, and that's something that you have to decide. Like, what in a relationship is a no-go? What's a deal breaker? Like, making sure that you're evenly yoked with someone eliminates the type of arguments, to me, that would be deal breakers.
Right.
Because when you're in a relationship if you're a passionate person and you're in a relationship with a passionate person, a lot of the things that we argue about are productive. Like, we're trying to figure something out that's going to make us better, that's going to make our lives better, that's going to make our business better, that's going to make us better parents, that's going to help us understand and relate to each other better, that's going to make the sex better. Like, whatever it is, sometimes you got to... They're in school, they have on headphones. Sometimes you have to fight about those things to fight through them. So it sounds a little bit... weird to say that some arguments can actually be productive and bring people closer together and help you understand my point of view and help me understand yours. And I think that honestly, in relationships, arguments are necessary. They are like, like iron sharpens iron. Yeah. That's conflict. That's sanding. When you think about gardening, when you know diamonds, pressure, pruning, those are the things that, and when you're with the right person, at the end of the day, like, we're arguing and we're fighting for the same cause.
Right. Because I don't know, we've all been in those relationships where the passion is not there, and that's not any better. Honestly, if you have two people that don't want to discuss or work things out, they're passive about it. How strong is that real relationship? How strong, how much growth is going to happen when, like she said, it's not being pruned, when you're not passionate about it, when you don't have goals and priorities and things that you want to get in place for your family. So
I think that ultimately, just understanding that arguments are a part of relationships. You're going to disagree. Set your standards and your boundaries for yourself, so that when you do get into a relationship, you know what you're looking for, you know what you what you want ultimately from that relationship, and you're willing to say no and walk away from the things that you don't want to.
And set those standards for yourself in arguments. What are the lines that you're not going to cross? What are the things that you're not going to, what extent are you not going to go to in order to prove your point?
Right.
I'm the person that I kind of fly off. I raise my voice. I have a loud voice by nature. So in those moments where we're passionate and we're going in and I'm trying to get her to see what I'm saying and to see my point of view, there should be lines, there should be boundaries that you're not going to cross just to get your point across. Because at the end of the day, what are you fighting for? She mentioned that earlier. What is the end game? What is the goal?
And we heard it in a sermon. Sometimes you don't want to be so just focused on getting your point across that you're willing to damage the relationship. And I think that's super important in everything. So knowing, obviously, what you want in a partner, who you are as a person, setting those boundaries and those standards for yourself and for your relationship, and then focusing on having productive arguments. If you really are looking for a solution and you're looking to grow with someone, there are certain things that you're going to be willing to do. There are certain, pressures that you're going to be willing to face with your partner. But there's also going to be certain things that you refrain from, certain things that you won't say, certain lengths that you won't go to. And I think that keeping those things in mind and really fighting for the relationship and not against the relationship leads to growth and getting closer and more productive arguments.
Right, and you want to always think of your spouse as your partner. You're fighting together. You're fighting for a common cause. You're fighting together. You're not fighting each other. Think of it as your teammate. There are going to be times where, even coworkers, you're going to have to check each other, checks and balances. But at the end of the day, you guys are working together for the common good.
I win all the arguments too,
Yeah.
by the way.
Okay.
But that's it, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more videos.